Hello, and welcome to Getting Started with Libby with your Stillwater Public Library. Once you have downloaded the Libby app, either through the Google Play Store for Android or through the Apple Store for Apple devices running iOS 10 or greater, or you've gone to libbyapp.com like I have here, you're going to see the first question they ask you is if you have a library card. You're going to say yes. Then you're going to search for a library, search for Stillwater. Make sure to choose the one that says OK Virtual Library. Now you're going to click Sign In with my card if you've already got a card with us. Click Stillwater Public Library again, and then enter your card number and click Sign In. Now, as it says here, you're signed in, you can start using the OK Virtual Library. This may not say Stillwater Library when you first get your card set up with it, but you can rename it to say whatever you'd like by clicking here. And then you're just going to click Next. The next question it asks is if you'd prefer to read with your Kindle, it can automatically open books directly into that Kindle device or Kindle app. I don't want to do that, so I'm going to click Skip. Now I'm in the browsing section of the Oklahoma Virtual Library. This is similar to as if you just walked into our library and weren't sure what you wanted. You could look through everything that we have in this area. There's going to be some digital displays like a bouquet of books, which is covering books that have floral covers. These are similar to displays that we might have on shelves or tables in the library. You can also always look through these tabs here, which are helpful. First one is Just Added, which is the most recent items in our collection. Then Popular. Random is going to be what it sounds like, a completely randomized selection of our collection. Available Now is really useful if you're looking for something immediately to check out. That means that it's not going to have any holds and it's not already checked out by someone else. And then the Subjects tab, if you click into it, you can actually go down into specific categories. So if you're really looking for just short stories, you can look for those. Or if you want something about crafts or just for your beginning readers, among tons of other subjects here, you can go down into those specific subject categories. Okay, so now I'm back in the browsing section, and you can always reach the browsing section of the Oklahoma Virtual Library in any Libby app by clicking on this little building down here. It may look a little bit different depending on what device you have, but most of the time this footer is going to stay the same. Occasionally this little hamburger menu here will look like the Libby logo instead. If you're looking for something specific, you're going to click the magnifying glass in the footer. That's going to take you to search, and I'm actually going to search for Furiously Happy, which is a book I know we have. It's one of my favorites, so I'm going to choose that. And this is going to show me all of the titles that come up under my search Furiously Happy for whatever reason. I can refine this search if I'd like, so it's getting a lot of things that I may or may not be interested in. So if I want, I can refine it by audience. I can choose a language or subject or format, which I find really helpful. I'm going to actually only look at the books right now because I don't want to look at audiobooks. So this is just going to show me ebooks. And this is actually the book that I'm looking for, Furiously Happy by Jenny Lawson. Looks like somebody already has our copy or copies checked out, and I need to place a hold, so I'm going to click Place Hold. It will tell me how long I should expect to wait for the book. This says about 2 weeks because we have one copy and it is currently in use, but there's no one ahead of me in line. So I'm going to click Place Hold. And now I can choose to read a sample if I don't know a lot about the book or if I want to get started. It'll give us like a few pages. I can suspend the hold, which is something that we'll talk about later. I can keep browsing or I can go to my shelf. I'm going to click Keep Browsing. And now that I know that I can't get that book right away, I see that there's another book by Jenny Lawson called Let's Pretend This Never Happened, and it looks like it's available. So I'm going to choose Borrow. Says that I can have it for 14 days, and I'll just click Borrow again. Now I can choose to go ahead and open the book, keep browsing, or go to my shelf. I'm going to go to my shelf. You can always reach your shelf by clicking on this little stack of books in the footer, and your shelf is going to show you loans in one tab, holds in another, and then tags, which is something we'll talk about in another video. So on my loans page, I can see that I have checked out Let's Pretend This Never Happened by Jenny Lawson, and I can choose Read With. And as I said, I don't want to read with a Kindle. I'm going to read with the Libby app. So I'm going to choose Libby. Once I've chosen that, it shouldn't ask me every time I want to open the book. And now I can just swipe through, click on it, and swipe through like I normally would with any reading device. I can choose to make a bookmark by using this little note here, and I can just, that shows me all of my bookmarks actually. This is going to make a bookmark, so if I want to bookmark a specific page, I can change the way it looks, so if I only want to look at one page instead of two. I can also change the font size, and I can do that by just increasing the scale here. Or something that is really useful for people who get really tired eyes easily, you can change the lighting. So some people find it better if it's a dark background with light text. I'm going to change that back to bright. And there's also the Open Dyslexic font, which is going to change all of the text to the Open Dyslexic font, which is helpful for people with dyslexia, because it's got better line spacing and more distinct characters. Okay, so I'm going to click back in here, and then I'm going to click back to go to my shelf. And this is telling me that this is due in 13 days and that I borrowed it today. The other thing that I can do in here is manage my loan. So if I am done with it early, I can return it early. But you don't have to worry about returning your loans if you don't want to. They will automatically return when your time is up. And as that time gets closer, if no one is waiting for your item, it will give you the option to renew your loan. And if someone's waiting, it will ask you if you want to make a hold on it so that you can get it back when they are done. I'm going to go ahead and choose to return early because I am finished with it, and I'm just going to click return. And now somebody else can read it. I'm going to go to my shelf, and now I'm going to click on the holds tab, and this shows everything that I have holds on. It says that I'm going to have to wait about 2 weeks for this, which is what we noticed earlier, and I can also manage my hold from here. This is where we're going to talk about suspending your hold. So if you think in 2 weeks you're not going to be ready because you just got another book, or maybe you know that you're going to have not a lot of time when that time rolls around, you can suspend your hold so that you get it later, but you stay in line. So I'm going to suspend my hold, and let's say I want to suspend it for, let's do 25 days. And then I just update it, and now it will not give me the option to get that book earlier unless I change it. I'm going to go back to shelf here and go to my holds again. The other thing that you can do is if you decide that you don't want to read it any longer, or perhaps you came into the library and got the physical copy, you can cancel your hold. And that is how you do that. I'm going to go back to the shelf here. The other thing I'd like to talk about while we're in this video today is the menu. That is going to be either this little hamburger menu here with the 3 lines, or sometimes it looks like the Libby app logo with the little girl. So I'm going to click that. This is where, if I have another library card, either with a different library or someone else in my family has a library card and wants to be able to check out items on my device, I can add a library card here. The most important thing, I think, in the menu section is actually the Manage Notifications. I'm going to click into that. This is showing you everything that you can get a notification about, and the way that it automatically gives you notifications is little menu badges, and they just appear down here on your little menu icon as a circle. So when you're in the app, you would see them. Some things I would like to get notified outside of the app, though. So if my loan is expiring, I would like an email notice. I would also like to know if my hold is ready via email. But there are some things I also don't really care about. So I don't want to get notified if another title by the same author is added by any of my libraries. So I'm going to click ignore on that one. And I feel the same way about series, so I'm going to click ignore there. I know that's really helpful for some, but it's not something that I want to get notified about. And everything else I think is good as a menu badge. So now if I click back, then that is taken care of. And I'm going to click into my library again down here. And that pretty much covers what we are talking about getting started with Libby today. So if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call at 405-372-3633, extension 8106, or you can reach out to us via email at askalibrarian@stillwater.org. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.